Hello, 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 and welcome in, everyone. It is time for Three Guys Before the Game. Coming your way, we will recap the final game of the regular season for the world champion Mountaineers, the UCF game back on Friday, and we look ahead now that we have a bracket for the upcoming Big 12 Conference Championship Tournament. This is episode number 703, and we are assembled. Some bouncy, some absolutely battling through like a warrior.
That's what you do, right?
Like a guy, you know.
That's what he does.
What's wrong? Hoppy's battling through something?
He's like Pat White when Rich made him carry the ball 92 times in a row in that bowl game. We'll get into that. Three Guys Before the Game
Hop?
is
I'm
brought
fine.
brought to us by Gomar. Something about me. Three Guys brought to us by Gomar. Go to gomar.com for details. Download the app. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. You guys thought I was kidding about when spring and boating seasons come. I took a boat in today. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. And we have. Hoppy brought Tudor's in for us, and we have consumed. Three Guys brought to us.
The Mary Bees.
Yeah, we'd show you a picture, but they're gone.
Yeah. By Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law, they won't take no for an answer. Conley CPA Group has spreads on stats. They provide value beyond numbers. And by WVU Medicine, it's textual healing. They provide us the healing. We provide you the text, the exclusive healthcare provider for all Mountaineers, including you. All right. It's early Sunday morning, and we are ready to go. Really enjoyed the time change. That made it perfect. Okay, real quick. So Brad's been working the Mountain East Conference tournament, and so he televised the two semifinals in the men's game last night. Knew it was going to be a little bit of a tight window. You got everything going on, the time change. You probably didn't need a double overtime in one of the semifinals?
I tell you what, not from a sleep perspective, but from an entertainment perspective, it was outstanding. West Liberty 105, Glenville 100 in that game, a 3-hour-plus basketball game. There was just tremendous shot making. West Liberty hits a shot at the end of regulation to send it to overtime. Glenville hits a shot at the end of the first overtime to send it into second. Just a fantastic, fun basketball game up at West Banco Arena.
Okay, very good. So since the last time we got together, the Mountaineers finish up the regular season with a victory over the Knights of UCF. So you end the season with a series sweep over UCF. So you end up sweeping UCF, you end up sweeping Cincinnati. And as a result of that, you're rolling along here, and West Virginia becomes the 7 seed in the tournament.
It's pretty good.
Picked 11, finished 7. Yes, we know, they know, everyone knows, they left some on the table they would love to have back. But at the end of the day, where they were picked and where they finished to go 500 in the league in year number 1, I think it says a lot about this game.
I agree, and we've talked about it here for a while. I think it says a lot about this staff, a lot about this group of players, just so resilient and able to hang in there. And what a big win, and just a wild deal as you recap those standings. You're grouped in with UCF, Cincinnati, and BYU. By the result of going 5-0 against those three teams, you leap all of them into that 7th spot, and you wind up with a bye in this tournament for the second straight year. And as we mentioned, given the struggles of this program in the 6 years prior to the last couple, I just think that's a remarkable job by this group in year 1 to reset the course of this program again.
Yeah, it really is remarkable, especially given the quality of this league. And you knew you weren't going to be in the top 2. You weren't going to be in the top 5 or 6. You weren't going to be top 4 or 5. But could you be in that middle? Could you be in the upper middle? And when the season began, who knew? And you saw what the projection was, and everybody's like, well, I don't know what we have here. And for a lot of reasons, I'll talk about that in obvious observations, I just thought it was, in many ways, and it won't, the weird thing, it won't show this years from now in the record. People won't look at this and go, but for those who lived through it, and I think can appreciate what they saw and heard, they can say, it was a pretty cool year in a lot of ways.
I've said it before, I like this team.
Yeah, I know.
I'll always like this team. What isn't going to be going down as the most successful, but I just always like this guys. By the way, We did a 45-minute show yesterday at the West Virginia outdoor. Is it hunting? What comes first? Hunting or the fishing?
Hunting, and outdoor show. Fishing, hunting, and outdoor show.
FHO, fishing, hunting, and outdoor show. We did that with Honor Huff. And we will post the video of that on Metro News TV and on our YouTube page in the not-too-distant future. But we had a great conversation.
Fantastic.
There's a picture. Yeah, right there. So it was basically just four guys after a game.
Yeah.
We had Honor in there, and it was a good time. There was a gazillion people.
Oh, my gosh.
You can't see it because the screen's big, but there's like a ginormous number of people there. And Honor is as good. I'm going to go on record. He's as good as we've ever had as far as answering questions and just giving you great insight.
He was great. A fun way to bookend his Mountaineer career. He joined us over the summer via Zoom on Three Guys Before the Game, right? And then he joined us in the live show to finish up. And again, Tony, I echo your sentiments. This was a really easy group to be around with just a lot of great dudes that I said it in the last show, Hoppy. They gave everything they had to this program. They had options, could have gone other places. They chose to be Mountaineers. And I think that's, I, for one, I thank them for coming here. Provided a lot of fun this season.
Absolutely a lot of fun. And again, we sort of talk like it's over. It's not over yet, but I mean, because of that last home game. But I think, too, that, and I know, again, I've said this before, that if you casually follow and go, wow, how did they lose to K-State? And that's a fair question and criticism. And, why couldn't this team make more shots? But in terms of what West Virginians are, and we are a people that are constantly struggling. We're struggling for identity. We're struggling for economic success. And we see ourselves as giving our all. This team was very representative of what it means to be a Mountaineer, to overcome obstacles and to put your best foot forward every time. I thought they were very emblematic of what you expect from a Mountaineer.
Yeah, you could make that. You could make that case. Absolutely. We'll get into the bracket here in just a second, but got to give a massive shout out. And if you're listening and it's still Sunday and it's not after 5:00, WVU women in the championship game of the Big 12 Conference Tournament, Mark Kellogg and his crew, he has now won 25 games or more in each of his 3 seasons.
That's incredible.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Have you seen that graphic around there where he's in top 5 winning percentage of all Division I basketball coaches? Have you seen that? Mm-hmm. The names that he's listed up there next to? This dude is rolling. Yesterday, it was an absolute rock fight.
Oh, my gosh.
17-17 at the intermission, Brad. 5-4 the scoring in the second quarter.
I'm aware. I've said it many times. I don't care how it looks. I don't care what style you're running. Win games. Did they win?
51-50. No. What was
48-47.
Right.
48-47.
Sub 50 points. Don't care. Good win.
Gia Cook had missed her first 5 threes. She made the one that mattered after Colorado had taken the lead in the final seconds. Drains a top of the circle 3. And West Virginia then holds them.
Yeah.
And in emblematic form, Jordan Harrison comes in like a burglar in the dark of the night and swipes the ball away from the Colorado player who is starting to drive down the lane for a bucket. Defensive Player of the Year. She ends up on the ground. Game's over. West Virginia wins at 48-47. And now they play the TCUs coming up here this evening for the World's Championship of the Big 12. 5:00.
Oh, I thought it was
5:00.
5:00?
Okay. That was a great pick by Harrison. Oh. The Colorado player had no idea she was there. Went into a little bit of a spin, started to square up. Harrison pokes that thing out from behind. What a great player she is, and turned out to be for Mark Kellogg, who originally brought her to Stephen F. Austin, their first gig.
I think she's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, well, you would know. You're on the committee. I don't know how she's not.
I think she's a Hall of Famer. I think
Defensive Player of the Year, you're instantly.
Yeah. JJ
like
last year,
ticket,
she'll be a Hall of Famer. Yeah. And Jordan will be a Hall of Famer. They got 2 backcourt girls that are Hall of Famers. She also had a play earlier in the game where she heard the play call from Colorado on an inbounds, and she yelled it to Kellogg and said, "Here's what they're doing," and she stole the ball. Just pickpocket. See you later. She is so smart.
She's fun to watch.
She wants to be a coach? Does she want to coach?
I don't know.
If she wants to coach, man, it's like right there. Gutty. So we wish them the best. They've lost twice to TCU so far this season. They stole one from us up here on a buzzer beater, and now you get your chance.
And then I'm sure the NCAA committee, because they're very clear and transparent in their process, I'm sure we'll know exactly why West Virginia then vaulted into the top 16 for a bye there. Because that'll absolutely happen, right?
No, they're
right?
a 5 seed.
Right? You win the Big 12, you're absolutely going to be a 4 seed. The NCAA would never not put the Big 12 champion as a team with an automatic bye. That would never not happen, Hoppy.
I would not count my chickens on that.
Put them in.
All right, here we go.
Games at Hope Coliseum.
By the way, the baseballers just bite your fingernails all weekend. They lose the opener Friday to the
Columbia.
Yeah, to the Lions of Columbia. And then yesterday, extra inning affair, and it ends with a walk-off grand salami. And now the Mountaineers and the Columbias will play the deciding game in this 3-game affair today.
Who had the salami there? Brody Kresser turned on one, didn't he?
He
Kresser.
did. Snapped it, just like
2 outs in the 10th.
Put it over to the furniture store.
Line drive.
See you later.
See you.
Out of here. Yeah,
Thanks
that's
for
good.
coming.
That was really good. All right. The bracket now set. Yeah, bracket now set. I'll just do it really quick, and then we'll get into Hoppy's obvious observations. But we've got 4 games on Tuesday, and these are the teams that are anywhere from 9 to 16. I watched the Cincinnati TCU game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because West Virginia is not in NCAA contention. But my gosh, do they absolutely just intoxicate you with the NCAA tournament, bad loss, good loss bracket. If they say it once, they say it 72 times during the broadcast. Well, Cincinnati here, you got that. Like, okay, enough. It does. I mean, is it me? It's ad nauseum.
I understand, Tony, and you're right. But that is at this stage of the season, that is the storyline.
Yeah, I've got relatively good memory. Give it to me twice. I've got it down for 2 hours. I know what the thing means. I don't need it every 6 seconds.
Okay.
I mean, anyway, I digress. First game of the tournament on Tuesday. Bobby Hurley received a technical foul yesterday. Arizona State plays Baylor 12-13. Cincinnati, Utah 9-16. BYU and Kansas State, that's the game that will feed West Virginia. It'll either be the Cougars or the Wildcats.
That could be a little tricky.
Yeah. 10 seed is BYU. They beat the Texas Techs last night at their place. Kind of a wild season for BYU fans,
I'll
right?
say.
They were high stepping early in the season. They stormed the court last night after a victory over JT Toppinless Texas Tech.
Yeah, 9-9 in the league is not where they thought that roster would be when they were opening that checkbook there. I assume they still have a checkbook. They open the checkbook there.
Unlimited.
Yeah,
Carte blanche.
They just opened it for another 5-star.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That was where they
By the way,
thought they would be.
What?
I don't want to play BYU again. You know, I mean, like, couldn't they be? It would be better if you had another shot at K-State or Utah or somebody like that, right?
Did not get his money up front? I don't know that they've paid him for the postseason. He should just go ahead and declare.
I think he's going to participate. That's fine.
He said he's coming back, didn't he?
Get the hell out of here. No. Are you kidding me?
I
The first pick in the draft.
He said that in an interview. I might run it back.
Yeah, he's going to run it back. He's going to run it back. He might not go back to Provo after the tournament's over.
You know, it will. If I shouldn't assume, but I'm going to assume BYU gets by K-State and advances on. It will be an interesting matchup with him again because West Virginia absolutely did a fantastic job on him in meeting one, held him to a season low in points in Big 12 play. So you're going to have to bring it. That'll be an important B-low chance more game again.
He's going to bring it. Mm-hmm. He's going to bring it again. That's fine. Let's go. Let's go.
I hope that he's thinking NBA by now, though.
No, he's not. They're going to try to grind this thing out. That's fine. That's fine. West Virginia will play its first game in the tournament, 7 o'clock Eastern, on Wednesday night against either BYU or Kansas State. All right. We're doing things a little bit differently today. We don't have any production music for reasons beyond our control. Mm-hmm. And it's time now for Hoppy's obvious observations. I'm not going to sing. Brad's not going to sing. What do you got?
We've used them all already.
That was everything?
Everything. But
That's been Hoppy's obvious observation.
I do have a couple. I was just really happy for the team and the fans at Hope Coliseum on Friday, Brad, to end the regular season at home with a win over UCF and how the game unfolded. I just thought it was with the families there of the seniors honored. It was just a meaningful way to end the regular season.
Agreed. Loved it.
It's really, really good. And that's a lasting memory for those guys, right? And
Yeah.
it would have been a bummer if they had lost the game.
Thought Ross was pretty eloquent in talking to us after the game about that, and he just said that's what he said, that he was just happy for the players and the family that they were able to experience that, get a win in front of all those fans and sing Country Roads. And he said whatever they go on to do the rest of their life, they will remember that moment in that building singing that song for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I thought was perfectly said.
Yeah. Outstanding performances in that game, and you'll talk about this from a number of Mountaineers. Honor Huff, 24 points. And, Brad, as you like to say, get the right guys to the free throw line.
He ain't kidding.
Did it matter?
It mattered.
Yeah.
Honor 10 of 10. You had those three-pointers early in the game. West Virginia got that early lead. Well, that was really important, I thought. And
so you shot 84% from the free throw line.
That was a good night. Good night. And it wasn't just Honor. I mean, Jasper and Belo were a collective 8 for 8
Correct.
from the free throw line.
Yeah, Chance Moore, 2 of 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and good job, Chance, who sometimes struggles at the free throw line. So West Virginia, they're 21 of 25.
Correct.
Yeah. The free throw line. That's a good night. Again, they shot well from the field, 45% to 38% for UCF. Good defense by West Virginia. Brad, you hold UCF to 23 points in the first half.
Great defense, not good. Great.
Excellent team basketball, 14 assists in that ball game for West Virginia. 6 blocks. 6 blocks. So now you get ready for the tournament. And, this basketball season is fun because it started like last year sometime. I don't know, August, September. And then it kind of goes. And then you have this, okay, we're coming to the end. And then there's a restart.
It's like spring, Hoppy. It's a rebirth of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's warm, and there's a restart to basketball season, and there's a lot of excitement because of tournament. And, West Virginia's not going to be in the NCAA tournament unless they win the Big 12 tournament, but they'll have postseason action. But just if you're a basketball fan, you got a lot of great basketball coming up here in the next couple of weeks. WVU women, we talked about. Now, can they get a win against TCU, who beat them twice in the regular season, 51-50 and 59-50? We talked about baseball. I'll give you a quick this day in sports history.
So this is the 8th when we record, 8 of March.
8 of March. On this day, and this has a Brad tie-in, on this day in 2010, top-ranked Connecticut Huskies set an NCAA women's record by winning their 71st straight game.
Wow.
In a 59-44 victory over number 6 Notre Dame in the semifinals of the Big East tournament. The next day, on March 9th, UConn won the Big East tournament with a 60-32 win over West Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay. UConn went on to win another 6 straight and won the Natty, beat Stanford 53-47. They finished their season, 2010, 39-0. And that was a Maya Moore-led team. Now, 16 years later, Brad, how the UConn women doing?
Probably pretty well.
They're unblemished, aren't they, Hop?
Unblemished and ranked number 1 in the country. Gino doing okay? Gino doing a good job? Brad, here's your boy.
That's his boy.
Had a pretty good career.
That's his boy.
So, and again, our focus is on West Virginia. I just thought that there was West Virginia time because they beat West Virginia in the Big East tournament. And the fact that how hard is it to keep it going, Tony, for that long and have that much success for that many years?
Well, to me, the most impressive thing is, he took, quote unquote, right? He took a little bit of a teeny blip dip.
A little bit.
Now, his dip,
not much.
His dip, 99% of every other school in the country would have taken his dip, but it looked as though the South Carolina faction had pushed him aside and said, get out of here, man. You're old school. You're not coming back. The fact that he was able to once again re-elevate the thing, now he's looking down again, that to me is the ultimate. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to get it started. It's hard to stay as long as he did, record setting. And now again, after a teeny little blip-blop because he had injuries, he comes back again, that's the ultimate.
And to end the to be at this point, be undefeated, which also speaks to Miami, Ohio. I know there's this like debate we've had for 6 weeks about whether or not in the NCAA tournament, of course they will be. But I mean, Brad, you play the schedule, right? That's your schedule. And all you do is win all the games. And that's really, really, really hard to do. I don't care what league you're in or what talent level you have.
I went home and watched the end of the Miami-Ohio game Friday.
Wow.
They were a whisker.
That close.
They had
a couple down the stretch where they were whiskers away. They had two last-second buzzer beaters there in the last couple of games.
But Ohio had a shot to beat them.
Yeah.
That dude that Ohio has that we saw when we were in Cleveland when West Virginia played Ohio State, baller.
It is pretty wild. This is not the place for the discussion, but it is just wild when you talk about the choosing of the NCAA tournament teams and what should happen there. I mean, that is a Miami team with 0 quad 1 wins.
Right.
Where does schedule strength matter? Where does the league you play in? I can see why people think there's a Power 4 bias, but if you're going to do it off the difficulty of the schedule. Now, I'm one that believes Miami should get in. They're undefeated. Put them in. I'm all for that. Mm-hmm. But it does set up some of the inconsistencies in choosing this field. There'll be some others get in there that have 1 and 2 quad 1 wins. You got West Virginia sitting there with 6.
Yeah.
Right? 5, 6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I digress.
Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by the good folks at Gomart. As you know, basketball season rolling toward its end. We invite you to lace up your high tops. I don't know if Hoppy has high tops. Lace up your high tops. Take your shot. Bonus reward points and tokens when you purchase specially marked items. Yeah, if you're watching in, down there on the bottom of the screen, collect all the 6 tokens, and you will slam dunk an extra 2,000 points. To do it, download the app, become a registered Gomart Rewards member, start running up your points. I would imagine all the running back and forth you're doing the wheeling, you need some Gomart fuel.
Well, just stopped in this morning.
Oh, you already did
on
it?
the way in. Thanks for asking.
Postal Plaza?
Yeah, just hit the Postal Plaza on the way in.
Wow. Three Guys also brought to us by
Saw him Friday, too.
Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way. How about this? Welcome to Biscuit Country. The Super Breakfast at Tudor's, served with a side of gravy for dipping your biscuit and your favorite breakfast sides. Classic morning spread. Eggs made your way, choice of meat, crispy taters, and a homemade buttermilk biscuit as big as a hubcap.
By the way, when I was there this morning,
Go to Tudor's.
time change, no problem.
Oh, they were on it.
Oh, they were on it.
Man, that's surprised.
Everybody there, biscuits ready to go.
Big as a cat head.
Big as a cat head.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this thing. Time now for Spreads on Stats. Again, I'm not singing that song either, but Spreads on Stats is brought to us by the Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. They can outsource. You can outsource your accounting with them. You want them to do a little bit, they can do a little bit of it. You want them to do full, they can do full. Whatever it is needed, they've got it. They can also outsource your CFO services. Visit the folks at Conley CPA.
We thought going in that maybe West Virginia would get some benefit stylistically from this matchup. UCF was coming off that game against Oklahoma State when it scored 100 points.
Yep.
NBA All-Star game broke out in that one. They were just running up and down the floor. Defense was optional. And then you had to turn around and go the completely opposite way and come into the Coliseum and play a team that was really going to guard you for the entire time. I think that was a factor in this game, holding them to 62 points, their second lowest point total in Big 12 play. And it was a game, guys, you just dominated throughout. You led for 38 minutes and 58 seconds. Mm-hmm. So 39 minutes of the game you led against UCF and did a great job in sweeping a team that many think are still in the NCAA tournament. All right, let's dive into some numbers here. I thought, well, I'll come back to the individual performances. Let's just go overall. West Virginia in that game had 15 points scored in the final 4 seconds of the shot clock.
Wow, that's a good number.
Double-figure points in 2 of the last 3 games in the final 4 seconds of the shot clock. Those are both wins. Here's another number I think you'll like. West Virginia is 7-1 on the season when it scores 10 or more in the final 4 seconds of the shot clock. So, Hoppy, we talk all the time about what Ross is trying to do offensively. And part of that is be deliberate, limit possessions, let your offense help your defense there, and limit some of these teams that want to go up and down and score quickly. And if you can possess the basketball and then be efficient and score late, now you're cooking. And I think that stat backs it up. When you're making your shots late in the clock, West Virginia turns out well at 7-1.
And Brad, how does it help West Virginia when they run clock and score? How's that help your defense?
Well, it gives you a chance to get set up And it compresses the game. And I didn't have a chance to go back in and look at time of possession, but my guess is this was another big time of possession game for West Virginia. And when they win that, the biggest gaps that we've mentioned, when the 5 biggest gaps are 4-1 in those games on the season. Pick and roll, we talked about that was going to be big going into the game. West Virginia was good with it defensively, but how about offensively? Second most points scored off the pick and roll since Cincinnati back on January 6th. We thought that was coming. UCF gives up a lot of points via the pick and roll. We saw it in the first game down in UCF or down in Central Florida. Honor Huff was big, had 13 points just off pick and roll sets in the first meeting, so you figured that would be really, really good and really impactful. Cuts to the basket, double-digit points off of those in this game. Again, that's the 4th time in the last 5 games. So again, some of that when you see West Virginia backing down into the post and waiting for a second defender to come, what they're trying to do is create the mismatch or the disadvantage for the defense. And when they do, someone is likely cutting in the lane or down the baseline. It worked again, double-digit points off those sets. UCF, only 6 points off catch-and-shoot jumpers in this game, tied for the fewest amount of points in a game all season off that set. They shot 11 total, only 4 of them unguarded in this game, so a really good job by West Virginia on the perimeter.
We finally got our regression?
No, not so much regression. They just didn't – yes, they didn't make a lot of shots, but they also didn't get a lot of overall shots as well. But, yeah, you got a little regression here in the last 2 games. Teams just weren't hitting the couple of open shots they got each game. Let's talk about some individual performances. Harlan again did it again. Down there, he was plus 18 in the plus-minus category and didn't score a point. He was plus 13 in this game and only scored 4. Plus 31 in the 2 games for Harlan. And again, that's part of why you're able to shut the pick and roll off is because of his ability in the drop coverage there in the middle of the lane. Did a really nice job, especially defensively. How about our guy Honor? You mentioned him earlier, 20 points or 24 points on the game. But I thought there was an impactful moment with 11:44 on the clock, Tony, and we talked about it while it was happening. Honor was fouled on a 3-point attempt.
Yes.
And just like he did down in Orlando, that got him unchained down in Orlando, and he took off from that moment when they fouled him on a 3 down there, Hoppy. Friday's game, 11:44 on the clock, fouled on that 3, including the 3 free throws he stepped up and made right there. He went on to score 10 points in the next 2 minutes. Ball game. If it wasn't already over, that was ball game right there. He goes 18 of 18 from the free throw line in the 2 meetings against UCF. Get your best free throw shooter to the line. Your team free throw percentage probably is reflective of a good night at the line. West Virginia just overall offensively, when it's one of its better offensive performances of the year. They finished 1.2 points per possession. Again, I say it all the time. If you average 1.1 for the whole season, you'll lead the country. They were very good in that category. One of the reasons why West Virginia, very few turnovers in that game. That was its lowest, turnover percentage in Big 12 play.
Seven of the whole game. Right.
It also helped counteract what was an odd stat, and you were able to get out of there and win it because you were efficient offensively and good everywhere else defensively.
Rebounds.
You gave up 15 offensive rebounds to UCF. That's the second best offensive rebounding percentage for an opponent in a WVU win. So playing with a little bit of fire right there. They were missing a bunch of shots, had opportunities for offensive rebounds, and they were getting them. On the flip side, just 5 offensive rebounds for West Virginia. That's the lowest offensive rebounding percentage in a win for the Mountaineers. So you were able to come that statistical anomaly there and walk away with the victory. Also give special mention credit to Amir Jenkins. Played almost 20 minutes, 19 minutes, 59 seconds in that game. He was incredibly valuable because Jasper was in foul trouble kind of all night. And he's such an important part, not just in running your offense and settling your offense down, but guarding Themis Folks. And again, Jasper was terrific on Folks. Amir came in and did a fantastic job on him. Well, I'm sorry, Amir played 23 minutes, not 20. Played 23 minutes. Made Folks have a difficult night again. Just 6 of 16 from the floor. So in both games against UCF, you handled Folks at the point, which is really the biggest reason why you're 2-0 against that team.
Yeah, and Amir, exactly right. I thought at the same time that he was being very impactful in the game. He had 2 plays off of the dribble that were wow. And one time he literally spun Themis Folks around. And I think that is really encouraging as far as his game goes, but he is as explosive as a player as West Virginia has in the open floor.
5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, just 1 turnover. Again, just like Harlan, impacted the game significantly while only scoring 1 point. I think there's another, this isn't necessarily a stats part of this, but as you look at games, I think sometimes we forget to take into account, I mean, we talk about good wins, bad losses, and those happen throughout the course of a season. Some of that's predicated on matchups. It's not just pick up and plug your performances in each week. Your performances fluctuate and change based on who you're playing. I think UCF's a really good matchup. This particular version of UCF and West Virginia were really good matchups. Hoppy, and I think one of the reasons why they didn't have an answer for Honor Huff. Mm-hmm. And that's a big problem for the opponent, for the guy that's at the number 1 top slot in your scouting report. UCF's guards aren't great defenders. In fact, West Virginia went after him a couple of different times. So they don't have a really good defender that can go on ball. So UCF then is left trying to put a big on Honor. 6'9" Burks tries to match up, and Burks is a really talented basketball player, started Kentucky. But the matchup he does not want is Honor Huff on the perimeter. I give him credit for taking it on and trying it. That is not a matchup that's going to be advantageous for the Knights. So they just don't have a great way to naturally match him, where conversely, as we just said, West Virginia does. It takes one of the best on-ball defenders in the league and puts it on their point guard, who drives that bus for them. When Folks goes, they are a really tough out, as you've seen all season. Jasper and Amir on him is a really good matchup.
Yeah, and then they put Stillwell for a minute on Honor as well. And that's just like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Folks made one move, it was second half, baseline move, where it looked like he was cut off. Then he started like he was going to fake, he was going to go back the other way. Then he returned to the baseline, spun, put the ball in. I mean, he got skills.
He did a 720.
He did, didn't he?
Went Tasmanian devil on you. He just doubles. He did the same thing in the first game. He kind of laid off shot attempts in the first half in both games. Second half, he goes like, "Here I come." And but they overall they slowed him down.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, he laid off shot attempts because he just wasn't able to get clear looks. If I have my numbers right, he was 13 to 29 in the 2 games. I mean, he just couldn't get shots. He likes to penetrate and get down the lane, and that's where Jasper first on ball, Honor filling the window, just doesn't allow it. They did as good a job on Folks as any team did all year, and they did it twice. That's why you're 2-0 against the Knights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as we said, great way to end it for the Mountaineers. And next week, coming up here, I guess that's this week now, the Mountaineers will travel Monday and practice Monday, Tuesday, and then play on Wednesday in Kansas City. Again, that'll be a 7 o'clock Eastern start on that fabulous, colorful floor.
You see what happens when you make a free throw? The floor lights up. The paint lights up.
They're doing some stuff there. When they take the top shot looking down onto the floor, the light from the floor, did you notice this? It illuminates the uniforms.
It eliminates part of the floor as well, more than the other. It almost looks like it's a wild effect.
It's a wild look. If you look at that, their uniforms are like underlit, like they're being lit from the floor. So it gives them like West Virginia was wearing that gold last night. It like illuminate him. It looks almost video game like, and we've often said this is where sports are going, more and more video game like. They're doing some different things with frame rates in games, football mostly, where you see this like it's almost like a video game look. This is the next evolution of that. But I do hear a lot of complaining about the floor.
Do you?
Slipping, yeah.
Oh, slipping
on the floor. They're not happy with it. Yeah, they're not happy with it. So they got to get players.
Okay.
Yeah, players are just kind of like
old players and old guys.
I don't know about old people. I mean, I don't know what you would define as an old person.
I was talking about me.
Oh, I don't know. And you probably couldn't go in fast enough to slide.
No, I'm not talking about sliding. I'm just talking about.
I personally like the colors and the looks, and I really do like that. As long as you can play on it, not slip and slide.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, you slip on other floors, too. Baylor had that pond open up under the basket last year. I don't know how that happened. All of a sudden, Toby O'Connie is going down the lane. He's right in the middle of the basket. He's going to go up for a dunk, probably win the game, and all of a sudden, Cheat Lake appears underneath the basket. Toby slips out from under him. Yeah. So, I don't think that was a glass floor.
That's true. No,
is that a regular, just traditional wood floor?
You're straight on it. 100%.
That happens.
Straight on it.
Big old lake, Hoppy's almost the size of the whole lane.
That was a good memory on your part. You were there, Hoppy.
I was there.
Yeah, Connie went down the baseline. It was
that,
after
Tony?
a timeout.
Toby looked like he's behind the back of a Lou Wendell boat there, just water skiing through the lane.
In fact, I had to keep moving up my seat because of the water level.
Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by the aforementioned Lou Wendell Marine Sales. They're getting ready for the boating season. They have been recently named the only Honda Marine premium dealership in the state of West Virginia. And yes, if you were to go there or look at their website, you would see that brand new Honda McLaren racing motor. And you need to give it a check. In fact, they sponsored our Three Guys yesterday.
Yeah, thank
Lou
you,
Wendell did. We appreciate that.
Big part of the outdoor show.
Yes,
as
they were.
should be.
They were. They had Avalon pontoon boats, considered among the best in the marketplace, manufactured 100% in the United States. It's not too late. Boating season is quickly approaching. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. That's LouWendellMarineSales.com. Three Guys Before the Game is also brought to us in part by the fine folks at Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. Let me read you a little something here from Valerie. And we're talking about VA benefits. I have been fighting to get 100% disability from the VA for 15 years before seeking assistance from Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. In less than 6 months, I received my 100%, which is extremely impressive. I wish I had known about them earlier. It was also amazing to know that all the retroactive payments came directly to me. I wasn't charged anything by the firm. It really brought me to tears. Thank you so very much, Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law.
They just took the ball. They said, give us the ball. We'll handle it. They were final 4 seconds of the shot clock. Just sit here, throw it back here.
Yeah, Jan said, give me the ball. I'll take the last shot here for you. And so if you or someone that you know needs help when it comes to VA benefits, Social Security claims, visit the folks at Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. It doesn't cost you a single penny for a phone call. They'll evaluate your case, and it doesn't cost you anything unless they get a settlement for you. So check them out at Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. All right, moving ahead to further action. It is tournament time. So West Virginia. Why?
No, I'm just listening.
I thought he was going to come at me with wisdom. I think he gave me like the pullback wisdom, like
something was coming.
Socrates once said, "The Ides of March will come, but so will tournament play. Don't let the ball bounce the other way."
Very good.
So, a couple of things here. It's always fun. You don't know what's going to happen, and it does look like, in all likelihood, it's going to be West Virginia and BYU again.
Jeez.
BYU will bring a lot of people. They always bring a lot of people. You had a great home court advantage when you were here. And so, difficult challenge, but at the same time, I think it's a challenge that either way, whether it's K-State or BYU, I think it's a challenge these West Virginia guys will like. Because if it's K-State, you've got the ultimate revenge. And if it's BYU, it is the DeBonsa, Robert Wright, hey, let's slow these guys. They're two of the better players in the league. And Wright, he went off.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't have my glasses on when I looked at my phone, but I think he had 22 or 23 in the second half.
Second half?
I think so. I think he went absolutely stupid in the second half. So it'll be fun.
Yesterday, when we were talking to Honor Huff, and he said he was surprised after the tip, they go down like, oh, DeBonsa's guarding me.
And it wasn't a switch. It wasn't an accident. It was DeBonsa. I was also just taken aback by Honor yesterday when he revealed what a shrewd businessman Jasper Floyd is. He basically tried to extort Honor. That's extortion, isn't it? Honor wanted...
No, it was negotiations.
I think I got to talk to Jasper. I think it may be extortion. So Honor wanted to wear number 1.
Number 3.
He wanted 3. And Jasper, it's also his number. So Honor said, hey, listen, I'll pay you to wear the number. And Jasper's, you real? He goes, yeah, real. He goes, what's the number? He said, Jasper, what's the number? Jasper started him off to wear 3 at $60,000.
I think he said 60,000.
He said 60.
He said 60.
60.
He said 60. He said 60 what?
60, yeah.
He said 60,000. He said, dude.
And Honor said, dollars?
You got to be absolutely out of your mind. And we wouldn't let Honor reveal what the eventual number was. But it was probably a pretty good number of shekels for him to be able to do that.
Honor could have come back and said, you can have 3 for 80. I mean, he could have done that.
Wow.
But anyway.
It's kind of wild.
It was.
All right, let's.
He also said
Jasper he's going to have a long career in whatever he chooses to do. Just wonderful guy. I don't know. You got in some kind of sales situation.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You might want to hire him like ASAP.
It might be an agent.
I think that was pretty well done.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to ever get the number if you don't ask. Might as well start high. You can always come down. Hard to go back up.
I think you've used that for years, right?
Thank you.
100%. Time now for textual healing. Unfortunately, we don't have textual healing music, so Hoppy is going to sing it. Go, Hop.
Here we go. Textual healing. Start.
You know you got that
I do
feeling.
spoken word.
It's textual healing. 304-404-4083, the numbers to call, and it's brought to us by our good friends at WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all mountaineers, including you. And yes, in fact, they are the team behind your team. When it comes to children's health, nothing matters more. And at WVU Medicine's Golisano Children's, every child gets the best possible care because that's what West Virginia families and those in the area deserve. They have been named the #1 children's hospital by U.S. News & World Report in the state of West Virginia for the 5th consecutive year. From your baby's first cry to life-changing treatments and everything in between, they're there for the moments that matter the very most. WVU Medicine, Golisano Children's, care for your family. You can visit WVUkids.com or call 1-855-WVU-CARE, 855-WVU-CARE. And as I said on a recent episode, the things that they are doing there on the children's side and really all across the WVU Medicine, but it's world-class operations and procedures. It's pretty amazing stuff that they're doing there.
It is.
All right, you ready to go into textual healing?
Sure.
This one was pretty wild. Mr. Jack Weimer wrote in from one of your fans, WVU class of 1950 and 5.
Wow.
Lived in Sunnyside, ate some new food there called pizza, trudged to the field house on Beechhurst to watch Mark Workman and Hot Rod Hunley.
Nice.
I love your show, especially Hoppy's obvious observations.
Well, thank you.
Signed by Mr. Jack Weimer, San Diego County, age 93.
Outstanding.
That's awesome. Thank you very much,
Thank you, sir.
Jack. We truly appreciate you listening, watching, whatever it may be. And like you, we also really, truly enjoy Hoppy's obvious observations.
Obviously.
Texter, hey, Tony, on my way to Kansas City for the tournament. Could you please remind us of your favorite barbecue restaurants? Thank you. Signed by Doug Gill, also known as Dougie Fresher from Murrells Inlet. So just a couple. Joe's Barbecue, Slaps Barbecue, and I've got some friends, the Webster brothers. They tell me of this place called LC. It's literally the 2 letters, LC. Talked to them Friday at the game, and they said, go to LC. It's not fancy at all, but the food is superb, and get the baked beans. They're raving about the baked beans. You know the Webster brothers.
Sure. 2 of the all-time greats.
Yeah. LC. I might try to go there too, but I'm definitely going to do Joe's. Probably going to do Joe's tomorrow night.
Really? So when you all go when you go barbecue,
yeah,
how much emphasis do you put on sides? Because I think that's key.
Oh, huge. Get them all.
Oh, really?
Get them all.
Bread?
I'm a big sides guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
We get
like
everything.
Sides a lot.
Okay.
We just go in and just go
give
them everything.
Okay.
We go to Slaps. Joe, the owner's there. He knows us.
Yeah.
Because of our relationship with Luke Darnell, we tell Joe, you order for us.
Oh.
Say, Joe, you tell us what we're supposed to get, and then they just bring it in there, shovel it in.
Is the barbecue out there better than Rev Kev's? Because
Right
Rev
there.
Kev's is
right there.
elite.
Right there.
Okay.
Right there. Same.
Okay.
Same. Then Doug wrote back because he was at the women's tournament, and then he sent me a picture of his barbecue platter. He went to Joe's. There's a Joe's barbecue platter right there.
Ice cold beer?
Some French fries there. It's on the side. Got some stuff. Got a couple of different meats. Look like he's going a little pork and he's going a little chicken there.
Did a nice job on that picture positioning the sauce there, right there with the logo.
Also, looks like he's got a Connection 304. Must have brought his own can of Connection 304
Clearly.
and poured it.
Clearly.
Probably poured it in
I don't
there.
know why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You guys are looking forward to it, aren't you?
I love tournaments. Love tournaments.
Yeah, I'm a big tournament guy, too.
Yeah. You'll check out other games?
Oh, are you kidding me?
When we get getting the bye is just awesome. Like, we're going to go in, they just kick our feet up on Tuesday
Just watch games.
Hello, boys, we're here. Let's watch.
I think it's fair to say we want the bye more than the players.
Yeah. We're more invested, I think, Friday. Guys, handle your business so we can go watch games all day Tuesday.
I'll go in there, not a whole lot of people in there, find a section, make sure no one's sitting in front of me, put my feet on the next chair in front of me, and just
oh, that's great.
It's the best. It's the absolute best. Because it's the first time I can watch games and not have to, you watch games, but you don't watch games. When you're doing the game, it's not watching the game. You're watching the ball. You can't see all the other chicanery that goes on. Text Mark Kellogg's staff. Tell him to have the players walk on some spilled Coca-Cola. The commissioner needs to rethink his floor choices and get these games on ESPN, not Plus. Well, ESPN kind of busy this time of year. They only have so many channels.
Is anybody else having trouble with streaming?
I didn't yesterday.
Boy, I did.
Did you really? It was wagging out on you?
Yeah. During the commercials.
I mean, this people won't like this. People won't like me saying this. But yesterday I went on to ESPN Plus.
Okay.
And I went under the category of baseball because I wanted to watch WVU baseball.
Mm-hmm.
There were 46 baseball games on. It said NCAA baseball, 46 games. And I know it's a pain in the butt because it costs more, but my goodness, what a luxury to have access to so much.
Yeah.
Like there's 46 baseball. There's so there is a ton. I know, trust me, I get the other side of it, but just to have the ability, if you do want to go watch that stuff, it's just there.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
From
the old days, you never even had access to it if you wanted it. Meanwhile, Bones from Oakton, Virginia writes, with no intention of threatening the Senators' much heralded gig, I'd like to propose an occasional add-on feature that we will call Bones on Stats, bringing you only the most frustrating analysis of WVU athletics. This week's offerings are following. The Mountaineers are locked in to he was wrong here. He said 8 seed. Anyway, 7 seed, 9-9, finishing ahead of two teams that will likely be in the tournament, UCF and BYU, going 3-0 against them this season. Add the team just ahead of us in the standings, bubble team Cincinnati. We're combined 5-0 against those teams in the middle of the standings. We log a loss against each of the bottom 4 in the standings. Oak State, Baylor, K-State, Utah. Q Brad, there are no cakewalk games in this league. Mm-hmm. If we had gone 3-1 in those games, we would have finished in the top 4 in the conference and easily locked an NCAA tournament spot as well as a double bye in the Big 12 tournament. While it is clear the Mountaineers exceeded expectations and were on a promising path with Coach Hodge at the helm, we're once again left contemplating what could have been. There's no question.
There's no question, but isn't that sports? Contemplating what could have been.
Always.
I mean, unless you win the world's championship, you're going to contemplate what could have been. What happens in football, Hoppy, if you don't lose to a 28-point underdog in Pitt?
Yeah.
Do we ever do what could have been there?
Absolutely.
What about Press Virginia, Tony? If they don't do a 37-minute review against Gonzaga
38
in that game, what happens in that one? What happens if Major doesn't get hurt in the Fiesta Bowl? I mean, it's just sports, right?
It is.
Your lot in life as a sports fan, unless your team wins the whole thing, you're left contemplating. And the what could have been change from if you hadn't lost to K-State, you were probably in the NCAA tournament to bigger. That's every season.
What if Pat White would have left the football team the week his dad brought his baseball equipment up so he could just forget football and go play baseball for the Mountaineers? What if it was a week early?
What if Ralph Friedgen would have known what he was doing and offered Steve Slayton that scholarship and kept it in place?
The other part of that equation is you tend to look at the what if of the losses or the injuries or whatever.
Yes.
The other side of that is, and actually Honor Huff referenced this yesterday in the interview where he said, well, yeah, we lost a couple games we shouldn't have lost. Actually won a couple games maybe you just stole a few
totally
as well.
You totally forget
So
those.
you forget about
that's
that.
A great point.
That's also human nature, right?
Yes.
Fan bases do that. That's what you do. You always gravitate towards the ones that got away, and you just assume the ones that you got, you deserve to get every one of them, and of course you won those.
But when in reality you go, oh, I'm glad we got that one. Like, get the heck out of here.
You make a super good point. what you just said is one of the biggest things that we don't do. So, like, when you win a game and there's just like this ungodly thing that the other team did, you completely repress that in your memory.
Instead of saying God made a play.
Exactly. Like if they missed a foul shot or if they get a rebound and throw it out of bounds and you get the possession, you win the game. Like you forget that. But that fan base,
yeah, they're the same.
They're throwing their hands up going like, he threw the ball out of bounds. We had the thing. We had him beat. It's the same thing.
It's why in the sports betting world, there's entire segments dedicated to bad beats. But you never go the other way. You never go the ones that you stole and you walked out of there and you got the win. It's human nature. Part of the deal.
Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems. Their phone systems for businesses can fill your need, whether it be big or small. If it's time for a phone system, contact Comax Business Systems. Ask them to come in, pay a visit to you, and they will evaluate what you have, what you need, and offer you an opportunity to get the best phone systems available in the marketplace right now. So check it out. ComaxWV.com. That is ComaxWV.com. Hello, Three Guys. Hoppy will probably mention this in his obvious observations, but the officiating of the UCF game was not only historically bad, he went historically bad,
my goodness,
but mesmerizingly nonsensical. With about 7:40 to go in the first half, the UCF guard dribbled across half court, turned around, threw a pass to another UCF player who still had not crossed half court. The player then dribbled over half court again. The game went on as if that was perfectly fine. That's when they lost all credibility to me. Admittedly, they were calling the game poorly for both teams.
Hey, you got 25 free throws. You made 21.
I thought, we talk about regressing to the mean, Brad. I thought the officiating regressed to the mean in the second half.
What now?
So by that I mean this. Early, if you remember, there were only 8 fouls, I believe, called in the first half, 5 against West Virginia, 3 against UCF. West Virginia had 18 called against them in the first 4 minutes. I mean, facetious. But West Virginia had a bad start with the whistle early in the second half. Okay. And you went like,
Trey got 3 in 4 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
He did. And you're going, and Honor got another, and Jasper got another.
Jasper, yeah.
But you know what happened after that? That whistle just kind of started going the other way. Because if you watch this stuff closely, you got to really watch it closely. And I don't know if you can do it on TV because you don't necessarily know exactly where which official called it. But sometimes one official sees another official make some calls that the one official doesn't totally agree with. And he's going like, I can't believe you just did that. So when it goes down to the other end, if there might be something that you could call, the official who just thinks you just got the short end repeatedly, he'll blow his whistle a couple of times to get that thing a little bit more towards center.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. And it happened Friday.
Did it?
Yes.
And what, do you remember the instance?
I remember instances where we got some calls after the other side got their calls, and you went like, the thing's getting even. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, you look up at the foul count. Look what it is. It's even. It's 7-7. It's 8-8. It's 9-9. How'd you get there? How'd you get that? Ultimately, that's what happens. So it evens itself out.
There was, I think, and I know that it's a fair target. Boy, I think it's really hard to get it right.
It's unbelievably hard.
There was Obi-Oha gets called for the screen, right? And he did. You look at it like he put his body into him, he put his hips into him. Then you go the other way, and 12 seconds later, Bull does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And there's no call. So I just think how do you, on that screen, everybody's moving on the screen.
So, yes, here's the deal. If you just go into every game, and it's hard to do, I'm going to say this and I don't do it, knowing this, players are going to make mistakes, coaches are going to make mistakes. You have to remember, officials are going to make mistakes during the course of the game. It's just impossible. The game goes too fast for 40 minutes. They're going to miss some. So if you just put that into your equation, you can accept a few of them going, okay, but if it gets extreme, then you can kind of go, wait a second, they're having a bad day.
Brad's getting ready to go.
Okay, here's my point to it. Here's my point to this. Okay? One of the officials that worked our game Friday night that tipped off at 8 o'clock and didn't end until after 10 o'clock, yesterday was in Waco, Texas, working a 5 o'clock Baylor game.
How did he get there?
Well, I mean, obviously he got there, but you cannot tell me. I know he's not chartering. You cannot tell me that there is not fatigue that is at a high level. You can't run in 24 hours at certain ages and be as efficient as you could be. You're not at the top of your game. That's the thing. And the NFL got away with having full-time officials. If the NFL doesn't have full-time officials, it ain't coming to college basketball anytime soon. These guys are independent contractors. They're going to grab as many games and as many leagues as they possibly can. But I'm just saying this. It's very, very – you're putting yourself into a difficult situation by having these guys work so many games, and mentally and physically they just wear down. That's all.
Go ahead, Brad.
You guys made some great points. It's a really hard job. It's a really hard job, and part of why the travel has to be what it is because there's not enough good officials.
Correct.
That's a problem. And I get it's the criticism and it's the behavior of players, coaches, and fans at the lower levels, even more than the Power 4 level, that makes it difficult to get officials. And we hear it all the time from our friends at the high school athletic associations across the country. They're having trouble getting officials. I get it. I know all of that. I'll give every disclaimer. I have a lot of respect for all of the people that do that, especially guys and women at the lower levels where the money is not what it is at this level. I totally understand that. But here's the thing, guys, and you know I've been consistent about this. It's also why I think it's fair to discuss that part of the game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Coaches are losing jobs sometimes because of officiating. Coaches get criticisms. Players are under more scrutiny than ever because they're getting paid. And I'm okay with that as well. That's part of what comes with that. But these are also grown adults as well. These are grown men and women too. And I think when they don't do their job to the level that they should be, there should be some questions about that. Then there should be conversation around that. And frankly, they should answer some questions about some calls during the game. Every other facet of this operation has to address what has happened, except that particular part of it.
That's a good
and
point.
It's inconsistent as all get out. And there's sometimes agendas sneak in there at times and dislikes. And I get it. That's human nature, so that's going to happen. But there's never any answers given from an officiating crew. And I don't know that that's fair or the way it should be, but I do also think it's why when I think they've missed something, I'm going to continue to say I think they've missed something. It's part of the game, and it does affect the outcome. And yes, we can say you've got to play through it and you've got to play on. And while that's true, it doesn't mean they should get a pass when calls are missed or their rules are applied inconsistently. I think that's part of it. It's got to be part of the discussion and the analysis, recognizing it's very hard and recognizing that the way officials are treated at lower levels is affecting the game at other levels. I understand all of that, and I don't condone any of it, obviously. But I do think a rational discussion of performance should be part of the discussions.
I agree. And the NBA does a better job because you can go with a pool reporter and they will release the final couple minutes of a game. The league will. And say, here's all the mistakes that the officiating crew made. And you can ask, I think college, hey, look, we're doing injury reports now because of gambling. Mm-hmm. We're going to do that, right? Status updates on the injury. We were doing that for gambling. You might as well do the pool report as well for officiating. And to your point, 2 games ago at home, there was an official. He came in. He was pissed before the game even started.
What now?
He was pissed. He was in a pissed off mood before the game even started. And when the game started, there was a timing violation. He came to the table he came to the table just like, are you freaking kidding me? So that started it. And then there was a couple more during the course of the game, and I was just laughing inside myself, knowing like, here he comes again, and just bummed out. Sometimes guys are just bummed out. You catch them on the wrong night. They're tired. They're not happy, whatever.
Now there's a clock issue.
Exactly.
What?
It's human nature, man. It's just like you got to be careful on how you handle all that stuff, right? Yeah. And if a coach starts barking and the guy's in a bad mood to begin with, then it escalates.
Yeah.
It's all human play. All right. I think we've done enough damage.
Hard gig. People screaming at you a lot.
It's a very, very hard
couldn't
gig.
do it.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, I'll say that. I could not do it.
I'd burst into tears.
No, you could not do it.
I'd hand out a few technicals.
You'd be
terrible. You'd be like,
yeah, you'd be terrible.
You want to start something?
You'd be terrible.
You'd be ringing people up every game. You would.
Yeah.
You'd be standing there.
Danny Hurley got blown up yesterday.
I tell you what, I give TV credit. They did a nice split box on that.
Saw it.
Bobby getting teed up and
Danny
getting teed up and run like at the same time, like side by side.
It was really good. It was
pretty well done.
It was very well done. All right, we're out. Don't know. We'll see what happens for the rest of the week, depending on what West Virginia does in the Big 12 conference tournament. Regardless of what happens this week, there will be other tournament games for West Virginia. They will be involved in a postseason tournament in some form. Also, spring football started yesterday. The Ballers were out there for a little get-together. Coach Rodriguez and crew, they're out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get into a little football here in the coming week.
As we make the transition, we'll get into football. We got a month of football here before the spring.
He's excited. Did you watch the press conference? He was
he's
fired up.
I did. I thought he was really good.
He was very good.
He's locked in.
Yes.
Of course he's locked in, but I mean, he was locked in.
I think he feels, well, we'll talk about this. I think he senses and knows that they're going to be better. Now, what that Brad translates into, but I think he looks around and goes, oh, okay, all right, okay, we'll go better.
I think he's saying to himself, I got 4 and should have had 6 last year with what I had. Now this year, okay, let's go. I think he wants to go.
Yeah.
All right, 3 guys. Special thanks to Jake and Jack. Jack and Jake for helping us out, especially Jake.
Jake saved us today.
Jake saved us. We had a major technical issue here, and Jake, I think, got 3 pairs of shoelaces, tied them together with a Dixie cup, and got us on the air.
We were all like, turn it off and turn it back on. See what happens.
3 guys brought to us by Gomart. Get a Gomart rewards card. Go to Gomart.com for details. Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. What do? They sell family fun, award-winning. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By Tudor's Biscuit World. Tasted good this morning. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. By Comax Business Systems, keeping your business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. They won't take no for an answer. By Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. And by WVU Medicine. Textual Healing brings us WVU Medicine, the exclusive healthcare provider for all mountaineers, including you. All right, we're out.
Have a good trip.
Thank you very much. We got to get out of the studio. They've got a bazaar coming in here that starts in 20 minutes.
What?
Brownie. They got a brownie sale. They're using this space. We're out. See you.